Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 2013 Student Spaceflight Experiments Program National Conference at the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. As Dr. Jeff said, this is the third annual conference, and we hope it's one of many more that we have here at the National Air and Space Museum. As Paul said, my name is Mike Hulslander, and I'm the manager of Onsite Learning here at one of the world's most popular museums. I'm also an education advisor and a member of the review panel for SSEP. The National Air and Space Museum is very proud to be associated with the Student Spaceflight Experiments Program, and I can think of no better place to hold this conference than at one of the world's premier facilities for space research and artifact collection. The National Air and Space Museum is committed to educating and inspiring the nation about science and its historical importance by preserving and displaying space exploration artifacts and data of historic interest and significance, developing educational materials and conducting programs to increase the public's understanding of and involvement in space exploration, conducting and disseminating new research in the study of space exploration and its related technologies. Your experiments and the information you plan to share with each other and our visitors here today align perfectly with these objectives. And I want you to think about this experience for a moment. As I said, this is one of the world's most popular museums. We're also recording this. You're going to have an experience today and tomorrow that you're going to be able to share for a very, very long time. So I'm not trying to make you nervous. I'm trying to make you understand how amazing this opportunity is. Me, along with probably many of the adults in this room, were probably never given this opportunity to present at a science conference at the National Air and Space Museum, at the Smithsonian Institution. So this is an incredible opportunity. I want you to have fun with it, though. Don't take yourself too seriously. We want to see smiles up here, okay? The Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum stresses science, technology, engineering, and math education in support of a nationwide effort with everything we do. Our participation in the 2013 Student Spaceflight Experiments Program is another example of our pledge to educate and inspire the next generation of scientists, engineers, explorers, and hopefully history makers. So it is my pleasure to once again welcome you to the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum. I hope you enjoy the conference, and I hope you have a wonderful time sharing your amazing SSEP experience with our visitors. Now, please join me in welcoming the man that really makes this all happen, Dr. Jeff Goldstein, Center Director for the National Center for Earth and Space Science Education. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you, Michael. It's been just a wonderful partnership for, I think, 23 years now between the two organizations. Way before your time, but the tradition continues. So 23 years of partnership with the Smithsonian's National Air and Space Museum. Let me give you some guideposts about how we've done with SSEP. The Student Spaceflight Experiments Program is a U.S. national science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education initiative that typically gives 300 or more students across the community the ability to design and propose real microgravity experiments. And the whole idea is that we wanted to create a program that provides an absolutely authentic, multifaceted immersion program in real research. The feeling being that our students are fully capable of being immersed in real science right now. And in fact, it was designed to be a response to the need to stop teaching science as a book of knowledge. We have to stop teaching science as a book of knowledge because it never was a book of knowledge. It's always been a journey. And we have to stop teaching at science, talking about science. The best that we can do is immerse our students in science and let them see it for themselves and take ownership in learning and hone skills in problem solving and critical thinking and being able to navigate across an interdisciplinary landscape and working in teams, because that's what scientists and engineers actually do. So SSEP is about immersing and engaging students and their teachers in every facet of real science on the high frontier so that students are given the chance to be scientists and experience science firsthand. And more generally speaking, SSEP is about a commitment to student ownership and exploration, to science's journey, and to the joys of learning in general. To give you some milestones here, since the program started in June 2010, there have been 6 SSEP flight opportunities, 2 on the last 2 space shuttle flights, STS-134 and STS-135, which were the final flights of Endeavour and Atlantis, and we were on the final flight of the US Space Shuttle program, which was Atlantis's final flight. And there have been 4 missions to the International Space Station. We are awaiting Mission 3 payload going up on the Orbital Sciences D1 Cygnus, as well as a portion of that payload on the SpaceX-3 vehicle out of Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. And the Mission 4 experiments will also be going up on the SpaceX-3 vehicle at the Cape. There have been 60 communities that have participated in the program thus far. 21,600 grade 5 through 14 students have been fully immersed in microgravity experiment design and proposal writing. A whopping 5,091 experiment proposals submitted by student teams. Over 100,000 grade K through 14 students across 540 schools given the opportunity to participate in the community-wide experience, and that is pretty much the Mission Patch Art and Design competition. We've seen tens and tens of thousands of mission patches. 14 communities thus far have participated in 2, 3, or 4 flight opportunities, and the winner here is Fitchburg, Massachusetts, which is about to start Mission 5. And for this program to happen, a lot of community partners, companies and civic and business organizations and foundations and school districts had to have a piece of the action. There are over 350 local partners to make this program work thus far. And I think what's really amazing to us is all of this happened, and SSEP just turned three weeks ago. So I think we're doing some pretty powerful stuff, given the fact that this is not a simulation, this is real space flight. And let me finally say that with regard to the strategic partners, the organizations that formally implement this program, it's the National Center for Earth and Space Science Education in the US, the Arthur C. Clarke Institute for Space Education internationally, and we've now brought aboard our first international partner in Canada, in Stonewall, Manitoba, Canada. And it is enabled through a partnership with NanoRacks, which is working in a partnership with NASA under a Space Act agreement as part of the utilization of the International Space Station as a national laboratory. National partners that make this program happen are the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum, the Center for the Advancement of Science and Space, the Carnegie Institution of Washington, NASA Nebraska Space Grant Consortium, and Subaru of America. And so I thought I'd leave with this slide. I really love this slide. Where's the Space Frontier Foundation? Okay, so they sent me this slide. They got in for, this is the West Shore Junior Senior High School winning flight team. And they got in front of the sign on campus, and it says, ISS or bust. And I think that that's great. Okay, so let me finally tell you a little bit about how we're going to do this today. As Paul said, the oral presentations are going to be 7 minutes long. What I will do is I will give you a 2-minute warning. So after 5 minutes has elapsed, I will be in the middle here, and I'm going to try to do it silently by going like this. But if I don't see that I'm making eye contact, I'm going to say 2 minutes. Okay, I don't want to interrupt folks, but I just want to make sure that people are cognizant of the time. We will have 2 minutes for questions and answers, and then 1 minute just to get up and down on stage. Let me tell you that what I'm describing is how a real professional conference works. And speaking for many of my colleagues who go to science conferences, I can tell you that I didn't go to a science conference until I was in graduate school. So this is really a remarkable opportunity. The way that conferences work is that, there are oral and poster presentations, and in the middle of at the end of an oral presentation, there is an open microphone where the audience has the ability to ask questions of the presenting team. And so, first of all, this is a conference to your peers, your peer researchers from around the country. So we strongly encourage you to be able to come up to the microphone and ask some questions of the presenting team. But let me also say what's really wonderful about the way this program works, this conference has worked, is we always see a stream of teachers and parents coming up here as well to ask questions of the presenting team.